Have you ever stopped to ponder what happens to your mind and body when you consume pornographic content daily? It's a question that's rarely asked, but one that holds significant importance in our modern, digitally saturated society. Today we're embarking on a journey to explore this daily consumption conundrum, looking at the potential implications of viewing explicit content on a routine basis. In the hustle and bustle of our everyday lives, it's easy to overlook the potential impact of our daily habits, especially those that take place behind closed doors. Yet it's precisely these private practices that can silently shape our mental and physical health, our relationships, and our overall quality of life. Now, we're not here to pass judgment or to preach morality, but rather to shed light on a subject that's often shrouded in secrecy and stigma. We live in an age where high-speed internet and private browsing have made pornographic content more accessible than ever before. With one click of a button, individuals around the globe can access a plethora of explicit content, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The daily consumption of such material is more common than you might think. Some individuals use it as a form of entertainment, others as a stress reliever, and yet others as a coping mechanism. But what are the effects of this daily exposure? How does it influence our brain chemistry, our emotional health, and our perception of reality? It's important to understand that the human brain is not designed to handle such an onslaught of hyper-stimulating content. The constant dopamine hits can lead to a variety of issues, from desensitization and addiction to unrealistic expectations and relationship difficulties. These are not just theoretical musings, but rather, they're grounded in decades of scientific research. Studies from around the world have delved into the potential impacts of daily porn consumption, and the results, as we'll soon discover, are truly eye-opening. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll uncover some surprising and potentially alarming research findings. So stick around, because this journey is just beginning. Science has started to unravel the effects of daily porn consumption, and the results are worth paying attention to. When we delve into the realm of scientific research, we find an intriguing labyrinth of studies that have been conducted on the effects of daily porn consumption. The findings, while varied, all point towards a common conclusion: that pornography can indeed have significant impacts on our physical and psychological well-being. Let's first consider the physical effects. Research in neuroscience has shown that regular exposure to pornography can lead to alterations in the brain structure. Specifically, it can cause a reduction in the size and activity of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and social behavior. This can potentially impact a person's ability to make rational decisions and inhibit impulsive behavior. Now let's shift our focus to the psychological effects. Studies have highlighted the potential for changes in mood and behavior. Some people might experience an initial surge of pleasure or excitement, thanks to the dopamine rush. However, over time they may require more and more stimulation to achieve the same level of satisfaction, which can lead to a cycle of escalating consumption. Moreover, daily porn consumption can also lead to mood disorders such as anxiety and depression. Some individuals may start to feel a sense of guilt or shame associated with their viewing habits, while others may develop unrealistic expectations about sex and relationships, leading to dissatisfaction and frustration in their real-life encounters. It's crucial to mention that the effects can vary greatly from person to person, depending on factors such as their personal disposition, the amount and type of pornography consumed, and the context in which it is viewed. Not everyone who watches porn regularly will experience these effects, but the potential for harm exists. The more we understand these effects, the more we can make informed decisions about our consumption habits. Let's keep exploring and learning, for knowledge is indeed power when it comes to shaping our lives in a healthy and balanced way. But how does daily consumption of pornographic content lead to addiction? Let's explore. Addiction, in its simplest definition, is a psychological disorder characterized by the compulsive engagement in rewarding stimuli, despite adverse consequences. It's a complex interplay of various factors, including genetics, environment, and psychology. Now, when we talk about daily consumption of pornography, it's essential to understand how our brain responds to it. Pornography, like any other intense pleasure, triggers the release of a neurotransmitter called dopamine in our brain. Dopamine is associated with the pleasure and reward system of the brain, and it's what makes us feel good. The issue arises when the brain gets used to this high level of dopamine release, and it starts needing more and more of the same stimulus to get the same level of pleasure. It's like if you're listening to your favorite song on repeat. After a while, it starts to lose its charm. Your brain needs more to feel the same level of joy. That's when the habit of daily pornography consumption can turn into an addiction. Moreover, this addiction doesn't just stay confined to the act of consuming pornography. It starts to affect other areas of life. The need for a dopamine rush can lead to the neglect of responsibilities, relationships, and overall mental health. It can also lead to feelings of shame and guilt, which can further spiral into anxiety and depression. Psychologically, the person may start to develop unrealistic expectations from their partners, hampering the quality of their relationships. They may also start to view themselves and others as mere objects of sexual gratification, which can distort their perception of reality. Understanding the psychological aspects of addiction is crucial in dealing with it effectively. It's not just about stopping the behavior, it's about addressing the underlying issues that led to the addiction in the first place. Addiction doesn't occur in isolation. It's a complex issue with far-reaching effects. But what about the impact on our relationships? It's time to shed some light on this critical aspect. When we talk about daily porn consumption, we often neglect to address its effects on our interpersonal relationships. This is a crucial topic to explore because the impact can be profound and far-reaching. Let's start by considering how it can alter our perceptions of intimacy. Consuming porn daily can create unrealistic expectations about sexual relationships. These skewed perceptions can lead to dissatisfaction in real-world intimate encounters, where the reality doesn't match the fantasy. This dissatisfaction can erode the bond between partners, causing emotional distance and misunderstandings. Daily porn consumption can also lead to secrecy, which in turn breeds trust issues in relationships. Many individuals who consume porn daily might feel the need to hide their habits from their partners due to shame or fear of judgment. This secrecy can create a wall of mistrust and dishonesty, even if unintentional, that can be difficult to tear down. Moreover, research findings support these points. Several studies have shown a correlation between high levels of porn consumption and increased relationship dissatisfaction. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Sex Research found that individuals who consumed porn more frequently reported lower levels of commitment to their partners. Another study in the Journal of Family Psychology reported similar findings, with high levels of porn consumption linked to decreased relationship quality and sexual satisfaction. Furthermore, it's important to note that these impacts aren't just limited to romantic relationships. Daily porn consumption can also affect friendships and family relationships. It can lead to social isolation and a decrease in quality time spent with loved ones as the habit takes up more of the individual's time and mental energy. In conclusion, the effects of daily porn consumption on relationships are not trivial. They can alter perceptions, breed mistrust, and lead to dissatisfaction and isolation. The influence of daily porn consumption on our relationships is substantial and cannot be overlooked. As we reach the end of our exploration, it's clear that daily consumption of pornographic content has a multitude of effects. Today, we've delved into the depths of this topic, peeling back the layers of what daily exposure to adult content can do to our bodies, our minds, and our relationships. Let's take a moment to recap. We've seen how porn can hijack our brain's reward system, leading to a cascade of physical and psychological effects. Over time, the brain can grow desensitized, requiring more frequent or intense stimuli to achieve the same level of satisfaction. This can easily spiral into a pattern of dependency, where the need for the fix becomes paramount, potentially leading to addiction. We've also looked at the psychological aspects of this issue, exploring how daily consumption of porn can distort our perception of reality. It can create unrealistic expectations about sex, body image, and relationships, which can cause feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction with oneself and one's partner. The impact on relationships, too, is not to be underestimated. We've discussed how excessive consumption of adult content can lead to decreased intimacy and emotional disconnect in relationships. It can also foster mistrust and create a barrier that can be hard to overcome. But remember, the key here is understanding these effects. By becoming aware of how daily consumption of pornographic content can affect us, we're arming ourselves with the knowledge to make more informed decisions about our consumption habits. It's not about demonizing porn or shaming those who consume it, but about promoting a healthier, more balanced approach to consumption. In conclusion, it's about finding a balance that aligns with your personal values, your emotional well-being, and the health of your relationships. After all, it's our choices that define us, not our impulses. Knowledge is power, and understanding the effects of daily porn consumption can empower us to make healthier, more informed decisions about our consumption habits.